Hi everyone. This is the last new skill in equations that we are going to be learning for this year. Next week, remember, we're going to review and have a quiz. So this week we're going to look at distributive property on both sides of the equation. I'm going to do 4 examples for you. So just like the past 2 weeks, we're going to have to simplify the expression not only on the left side, but on the right side as well. So the first thing you always want to do is separate the 2 sides of the equation. So you can see that we can simplify using distributive property on the left side and on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to take 5 times x and 5 times 1. So I have 5x plus 5 times 1 is 5. Equals, I have to do distributive property on the right side. 2 times x and 2 times 10. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 10 is going to be plus 20. So now you can see just from previous weeks that I have x's on both sides of the equation. So I need to get all of my x's on one side. So again, I'm going to take my 2x and I'm going to subtract it on both sides of the equation. My x's will cancel on this side. I have 5x minus 2x is going to give me 3x. I'm going to bring down my plus 5 equals 20. And now I'm just left with my 2-step equation. I want to get x by itself, so the first thing I want to do is get rid of that plus 5 by doing the opposite and subtracting 5 on both sides. My 5's cancel. I'm left with 3x on the left. 20 minus 5 will give me 15. And my last step would just be to divide by 3 on each side. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3's will cancel. I'm left with x equals 15 divided by 3 is 5. Let's look at another example. Example 2, same situation. I have distributive property on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate both sides of the equation. Okay, I'm going to use distributive property on both the left and the right to simplify. Be careful here because I have 3, and typically it was just you were multiplying this first term here by just a single letter. But notice I have 3 times 3y. We'll get back to that in a second. And I have to multiply 3 times 4. So 3 times 3y would be 3 times 3 is 9, so it would be 9y. So just be careful there. 3 times 4 would give me plus 12. Okay? Equals 5 times y and 5 times 4. So I have 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so notice I have y's on both sides of the equation. I need to get all the y's on one side. So I'm going to subtract 5y on both sides. My 5's will cancel. 9 minus 5 is 4y. Bring down your plus 12 equals 20. Again, a 2-step equation. You're going to get rid of the 12 by subtracting on each side. My 12's will cancel here. I'm left with 4y equals 20 minus 12 is 8. And I divide by 4 on each side. My 4's will cancel. And I'm left with y equals 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 more examples here. Okay, example 3. Same situation with distributive property on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and separate my two sides of the equation. And I'm going to use distributive property to simplify on each side. So I have 4 times 2x and then 4 times 2. 4 times 2x is 8x. Just take the 4 times 2 and add the x. And then 4 times 2 is 8 again. So I have 8x plus 8 on my left equals 2 times x and 2 times 7. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay? Again, I want to get the x's on one side, so I'm going to subtract my 2x on each side. They will cancel. 8 minus 2 is 6x plus 8 equals 14. Okay? I'm going to have to subtract 8 on both sides. The 8's will cancel. I'm left with 6x on the left equals 14 minus 8 is 6 on the right. Last step is to divide by 6 on each side. X equals 6 divided by 6 is 1. Okay, let's look at one more. All right. 5 times 2x plus 3 equals 5x plus 6. Let's separate the two sides of the equation and use distributive property on each side to simplify. So I have 5 times 2x and 5 times 3. 5 times 2 is 10, so 5 times 2x is just 10x. 5 times 3, bring down my plus 15, equals 5 times x and 5 times 6. 5 times x is 5x, 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, just like the other 3 problems, I want to get the x's on both sides. So I'm going to subtract my 5x on both sides. Cancel on the right. 10 minus 5x leaves me with 5x plus 15 equals 30. Okay. I want to get rid of this plus 15, so I'm going to subtract it on both sides. They'll cancel. I'm left with 5x equals 30 minus 15 would give me 15. Divide by 5, last step. X equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that's it for this week, just adding the distributive property to the right side as well. Again, if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a Zoom, email me and we can go through some problems together.